What is up, guys? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today a video about an interesting article I saw in Cointelegraph about is there a correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market? A very interesting question, one that I've been wanting to answer for quite a while. So we'll take a look at that today. But before we get started, thank you to everyone subscribing, thank you to everyone mashing on that like button, and guys, if you want to find out how to win a free Ledger Nano S, stay tuned. Now this is the article that I saw in Cointelegraph. So is there a correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market? Yes, but no. Good answer. Depends. You know, that's like with real estate, every question depends. But there could potentially be. Because if we take a look, all right, this is not something that I look at too often, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average, okay, was rising to like all-time highs for like many years, and then wow, it fell back down. But, you know, it fell back down to where it was a month ago. Not terrible. Found a floor right there, and then coming back up. Same thing, very reminiscent of another thing called Bitcoin that we all look at. I know I look at it a lot more often, all right? So that going up until, what was it, December 17th? And then, boom, crashing down, and oh, so terrible, down to $6,000. $20,000 to $6,000. Man, I feel bad for those people who got in on top. But if you hodl, chances are you'll do well. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. But yeah, you'll probably do well if you just hodl. Okay? So, what's the correlation? Well, why was there a drop in stocks? Well, they think they were overvalued. And also there's some inflation coming up. And all those things, basically, they just cause problems with the stock market. So that's the reason for the stock market dropping off recently. How about for Bitcoin? What caused it there? Well, how about some South Korea FUD banning exchanges, using firewalls, and then on top of that, India putting further stuff on top of it. Everybody just FUDding. It's a funny market because if you just sit back and you don't, I mean, for me, most of what I do is just dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, and then when I find an awesome project, just buy some Ethereum to put on the exchange and buy that project. So when you just sit back and you don't invest that often, you don't have your head wrapped around it every day, it's just kind of funny because it's like everybody FUDs and then there's a giant sell-off and then everybody FOMOs and price goes up. So, you know, before long, it's predicted, not financial advice, but it's predicted, probably within the next month, we'll probably see some Bitcoin price going up. I saw Tokenization talking about that, and also some people think a lot of the money, this is like a yearly trend. In January, price of Bitcoin comes down because of Chinese New Year, some other things. Well, Chinese New Year is coming up very soon. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. And Year of the Dog. And so price could go back up after that. Now, what else did they say here? They had some very interesting stuff. There was this Z-scores thing. I didn't understand it too well. But here's the thing that I saw. Because I always wonder, like, how did both of them go down at the same time? Where does all this money go? People just pull it back out into fiat, and they just hold that. They hold gold, put it into something else. But see, investors only have one brain to process risk. When everybody starts FUDding, the little reptile brain, the amygdala or whatever, just has an explosion. They pull their money out, everybody clings to it, holds it, and you know, they're waiting for the price to go back up so they can buy in again at all-time highs. That's just the buying cycle that we're stuck with. But because of the way that our brain processes risk, it's like fight, flight, or freeze. Most of us, yeah, all of those. Additionally, it says here that this is one thing that when I got into Bitcoin, I saw a huge opportunity in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is considered by many as a hedge against currencies, similar to that of gold. So, you know, with not even the government printing money, because it's not the government that owns the central banks, okay? With the Rothschilds just printing money whenever they want, manipulating it however they want. That, you know, if we take a look at some countries like Zimbabwe, okay, they have a lot of money printed. All of a sudden, their money devalues ridiculously. So when I saw the opportunity with Bitcoin as a fixed supply, something similar to gold, similar also to real estate, fixed amount of land, exponentially growing number of people, all of those things, there's only a limited amount. So you can't print more of them. So that'll be more valuable when these things that they can print a ton of, for instance, US dollars, they start flooding those, the inflation goes up a lot. I think everybody will flood into Bitcoin, potentially. But we're not seeing that now, especially when the stock market's coming down, Bitcoin's coming down, everything's crashing, and the Chinese New Year, and then we have an explosion and everything goes back up in the future. But another thing that I've been seeing at a lot of these conferences that I'm talking about is that the idea of cryptocurrencies and tokenization in terms of like money, like we usually think of money, is different. Because with tokenization, what happens is it's basically just exchanging value. So it's more of like a bartering system than an actual monetary exchange. So comparing cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, to US dollars is not particularly helpful in these cases because you're really only going to need the tokens on the platforms you use. So, that being said, what's the relationship between the stock market and Bitcoin? I think they're going to go somewhat similarly for a while. But obviously, because I'm more invested in Bitcoin, I'm more optimistic about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because I think they're the way of the future. They're a brand new asset class. They have the smartest people in the world working with them. So guys, basically a long-winded way of getting around to what I'm saying. Is the stock market and Bitcoin correlated? Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's fear, there's FUD, there's FOMO that impact both of them. So yes, absolutely emotional markets, they're correlated that way. However, I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will do a lot better when everything else starts crashing down around them because, number one, fixed supply, similar to gold. So people hold on to gold for those types of events as well. Obviously, having a little bit of cash is good. Having food in a bunker somewhere out in the woods, obviously great as well. But cryptocurrencies have a lot of utility as well. So if all other finance goes to absolutely nothing, the utility of cryptocurrencies, it would be like bartering in the future. All right, and I think that is the difference in the correlation. So because of that, I put a lot of money in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because I believe in it, but it could be rose-colored glasses, not a financial expert, nothing like that. Now, guys, for those of you who just stuck around through this long-winded, boring episode, just to find out how to win a free Ledger Nano S, you can go to crypto-love.com/training and click up there where it says enter win free Ledger Nano S. And then for the rest of you who just watched just for fun, thank you so much for sticking around. I will catch you guys next time. All right, peace.